Previously on Whiskies and Weebs. Ed has the misfortune of drinking the greatest form of Mother Nature, mushroom-infused whiskey. Not wanting to enjoy this sample of Gaia in liquid form, Ed immediately passes away. To be continued in this episode.
Right. Right. By the power of friendship, I revive you! Shit, that don't work here. Oh, shit. Blood for the blood god. Blood for the blood god.
I'm back.
He's back.
Thanks, mate. Means the world to me. Ben?
Ed?
That was quite a way to wake up.
I guess it tasted sweet.
I'm quite sure it did. Yeah.
Blood tastes sweet. What a surprise.
For a second, I thought I was not Ed in Whiskies and Weebs. I was Edward Cullen from Twilight, but you know. Yeah. What do we have today?
You don't suck as bad. Wait, what? Okay, so what we are discussing today would be something nostalgic. Since,
We're boomers.
We're boomers. Yeah. And we should be considered part of the seinen demographic. Or maybe we're past that already.
Yeah, some would say that we're very old ones.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
Yes.
My bones are about 70 years old.
Dang.
Age is just a number.
I guess it's fine for me to not keep fit anymore. Wait, what?
So,
Yes.
before we get to the fun part, which is the whiskey, what actual anime topics do we have today?
Yes, so we were gonna discuss about our nostalgia for shonen anime.
Yeah, I remember back in my days when I was 6 years old, I was
Back in
watching
my
Dragon
days,
Ball Z, Frieza Saga on Kids Central. Those were the days.
Yes, Kids Central, when they actually showed anime on TV, which, come to think of it, was a bit strange because some of the anime were a bit sus.
Sus?
Sus? Zero no Tsukaima?
That was aired?
I think it was a bit later in the night. 11? Anyways,
Yes.
yeah, so what are some of the animes that you have watched other than, DBZ? You mentioned.
As you know, I am the shonen guy of this duo here.
Yeah.
This is not a guest episode, that was pretty gay. Let's not touch tips anymore. So, I did watch, I think I watched One Piece in its inception. Then when I had access to Cartoon Network, I watched Naruto. And then Bleach was when the great age of pirates came to me and not stayed in One Piece. So that's when I watched Bleach.
So the big three.
Yeah. Counting Dragon Ball Big 4, I guess.
Big four.
Then I have the childhood standards. I have Pokemon.
Pokemon.
The very oldest Pokemons back when they were actually on CDs. Don't worry, the kids these days, those from I don't know T05 onwards.
Wait, you're talking about the one with Misty and Team Rocket.
Yeah, Misty, Brock,
Right.
Team Rocket, Giovanni.
I'm pretty sure some people don't even know who the hell Giovanni is anymore.
Yeah.
Damn.
We have 9 generations of
Oh,
Pokemon now.
fogies, man. Damn.
Rats.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, remind me again from the previous episode, what was the earliest generation of Pokemon that you're aware of?
Elias?
Yeah.
We are considering Pokemon Yellow to be the first generation or generation 0?
I was talking Pokédex generations.
Pokédex.
So Gen 1.
Gen 1.
Okay, Gen 1. Perfect. I guess we truly are boomers then.
Indeed.
Just
When
these
Missing
days.
No was a...
What's a thing?
Yes.
Thing. An actual thing. Missing number.
What
Yeah,
an amazing
so-
time to be alive.
So we're talking about all the old fogey animes that I watched. Then
Yeah.
yes, I was there when Dawn Creek existed.
Dawn Creek.
One Piece.
Damn, man.
That
That's a long time ago.
That was when Sanji was getting recruited. That was a really long time ago. I was there during Naruto's very first failed Chunin exams. That was also a very long time ago.
Are we considering Avatar: The Last Airbender an anime?
Is Tom and Jerry an anime?
Good question.
Yeah.
is Penguin anime. According to MAL, it was.
It's totally spies in anime.
Yes. Well, what?
We're diving too far away. Yes,
But
those
for
are
some
the
other stuff.
those will be the older
Yeah.
animes that I am more privy to.
I think for me, it's more Hitman Reborn.
Okay.
I think you know Hitman Reborn.
I know Hitman Reborn. I read like maybe the first 10 manga chapters and then I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Tis most a shame.
I
You didn't miss out on much.
I do know Zero no Tsukaima. So
I don't think that is a shonen.
Whatever. What else is there?
I don't think we should consider that. Inuyasha, that was that.
The Grey Man.
Was that more shoujo?
Is The Grey Man a shoujo?
No, Inuyasha.
I don't know.
Really?
Don't think so.
The Grey Man. There was a Grand Lagann apparently.
Oh yeah, Gurren Lagann. I mean, Gurren Lagann was about the same time for me as Angel Beats was, so somewhere in the 2010s.
Yes, that period of time.
The very early 2010s for me. Back when, the great age of pirates came to me.
Yes, when we were first inducted into this society.
Yeah. Sadly.
Sadly? Really?
I mean... Is piracy a moral affair?
Let's not get into that, and let's just take a look at what MAL has for the shonen genre.
Okay.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I guess that's a new one.
You skip Bleach.
Bleach is the new season. You mentioned before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. Wait,
Is
is Gintama... how could you skip Gintama?
Let's not talk about Gintama because it's wait, what?
I mean, I don't deny that the anime was not very good, and there's only like select redeeming arcs that makes it very good. Otherwise, it's either a shit show or decent.
Yeah.
SNK?
SNK? Yeah. Really, SNK would be considered a shonen today.
Yes.
Huh. What an interesting time we lived through.
Oh yeah, Gintama, Hunter. 2011, because there was an older anime for that, and the art then was pretty sus.
There was a Canon 2003 and Canon 2005, so I kind of get your point.
I mean, the old Keyworks anime adaptations are pretty suspect.
Pretty sus, yes. They were adapted from
I think I could draw better with a whiteboard marker, but okay.
Yes,
I just go to skip like Koi no Katachi. Just because it's surrounded by Gintama and Gintama.
I missed that. But is that really a seinen?
No, I
mean shonen?
I think Koi no Katachi hits a bit too hard.
Yeah, it definitely hits a bit too hard. I don't think the younger folk would resonate as well with the characters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gintama, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer.
Yes, normal things. Shingeki again, Haikyuu, I guess.
Haikyuu? Oh, this one is Haikyuu Season 3. Karasuno versus Shiratorizawa.
Oh, you keep track?
I mean, I very recently rewatched like some parts from it. There are very hype moments.
Understandable.
Yes. Hajime no Ippo.
Yes.
Do you know what Hajime no Ippo means? Actually translates into
the first strike or something?
The first step.
The first step.
Yeah, it's not just fighting spirit.
Yes.
Although it has a very strong illusion within the story itself.
I guess a lot of the sports animes tend to be shonen as well. Quite a few. I wouldn't say all of them. I mean, you have the central theme of like friendship and whatnot, except for like Blue Lock.
It's more like contrasting to Hajime no Ippo. You have Ashita no Jo, which I don't think can be considered a shonen, but it's kind of like a great predecessor. And then you have like in more recent times Megalobox, which I also don't think is a shonen. I think it's more on the seinen side of things.
But that's more recent, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Is JoJo really a shonen?
I would say that
the
most shonen JoJo is 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some shonen.
1 and 2 strikes a bit more seinen. Maybe 2 is a bit more. 2 blurs the lines a bit more. Like Battle Tendency is that what it's called?
Which one?
JoJo 2.
What was it again? It's the one with the German
Yeah, it's the one with Stroheim and the
Stroheim.
Pillarman.
Yes, can't remember the name. Never mind.
Now we get to some actually old stuff.
GTO.
Rurouni Kenshin and GTO, great teacher on Izuka.
Damn, man.
And then we have something
Definitely.
more modern, Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
Could you really consider that shown? I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. So I'll need your opinions on that. One Piece, Spy X Family.
Spy Family
understandable.
is, I think thematically is fairly seinen, but it's a very shonen story. Hajime Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, I think Jujutsu Kaisen is a shonen with very seinen themes.
Yeah, Shigatsu. I think we kind of get the point by this point. Wait, is Death Note really shonen?
No, I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
When was this again?
Death Note is quite old. 2006.
2006.
Are you even looking at the right spot? It's up there.
Yes, it's right there. Alright, yeah. So,
I think
we've gotten the point, though the point doesn't appear to be quite clear. What exactly constitutes a shonen anime? Or at least what we grew up with as shonen.
There must be good fights.
Fair enough.
You must have you need a fairly relatable protagonist, and he must have a rather meteoric ascent throughout the story.
And the hero must always win in the end?
Not necessarily. Ashita no Joe will not count. The character dies. Demon Slayer, tons of people. Or rather, it's like
Demon Slayer?
I think you alluded to it before as a happy ending.
Happy ending.
I don't think it's very thematically a happy ending, but more so like the protagonist usually 98% of the time wins at the end of a shonen.
Most of the time.
They get the last laugh, or they win, or even at the cost of a Pyrrhic victory. That would distort the happy ending part of it.
I guess that does essentially sum up what a shonen, at least for the older series, constitutes a shonen, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's strange to see Shingeki no Kyojin over here. Freaking Death Note as well.
I think Death Note doesn't fit, but SNK is still fine. It's
with Eren, with that finale, really? Will you consider that a shonen?
Ending, I wouldn't say is bad. I wouldn't say it's scuffed, but I would say that it's not what grinds my gears.
I don't know if we can really like. It's a very strange definition to. I don't think it thematically fits the classical shonen kind of series. You know, it feels more like what you call what you would identify as a seinen show, like.
I think the themes are changing.
Yeah.
Or it's an evolution.
There definitely feels like a change in the themes discussed in the genre.
Not necessarily discussed by him. We can discuss something a bit more seinen. Why don't we get to our whiskey for today? What do you have?
Yes,
boss?
I have how do you read this again? Bunnahabhain.
Bunnahabhain.
Yes, a Bunnahabhain. So it's a Eirigh whiskey, a Scotch. Isla.
Yes.
Whoops. Clearly I'm not a yes. So it's a 1 liter bottle. You don't really get that in Singapore. This was bought at the airport. So I have no idea what the tasting notes are as of now. I think I read somewhere.
I sneaked the brief read and it claims to have everything. Like Singleton. You can expect spice, you can expect fruit, you can expect salt, you can expect smokiness. Singleton doesn't have salt.
No, we can give it a try and see if it lives up to its claims.
Of course. Yeah. So Ben, how would you like to crack it open? So Ben, recently, not say recently, but quite a while back, I saw on the IG, messaging someone on Whiskies and Weebs account. He said that it appears that we have a preference towards stronger, smokier scotches or smokier whiskies. What are your thoughts on that?
Preference?
Why does it pour like actual syrup?
Because it is very cold. And it's 48%? 46%. Is this out there?
That looks like a very reasonable amount.
Yeah, the glasses do distort it a bit. It smells very nice though.
Actually, doesn't smell smoky for an Isla. Not bad. Let's get a deeper whiff.
You've got that very
Smell test.
smell test.
Oh, so weird.
Weird.
Oof.
It's a bit. There's definitely a bit.
Can't just stick your nose there. Can't just stick your nose there.
A bit smoke. There's a very nice salty smell to it.
Yeah, it's definitely salty.
Yes.
I smelled the fruit like at a distance. Then as I approach it, it just got stronger in terms of how alcoholic it smells.
I mean, it is a 46% after all.
We've had stronger.
Not on camera.
We had the
States.
Old Forester Statesman
Ah.
was 47.5.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Definitely a hint of fruit, but very salty.
I would say it's the fruit is at a distance for me. Yeah, it's more salt like the Telescope. But not as smoky as the Telescope.
Yes. It's hopefully it's
Hints of fruit and salt, salty fruit. Okay, it's like how you
hopefully it gives an interesting
retain an
taste.
apple. Alright, cheers mate, taste
Cheers.
this. They weren't kidding about the spice. That hits.
Really?
Oh, that's is I get it smells salty but it doesn't exactly taste salty. It's overpowered by spice and it's lingering.
Yes, it
Yet malpeat. So
very mild peat.
it's
Not too
to my
expected.
preference, I guess.
not very expected of Isla single malt Scotch.
Yeah.
Oh, it burns.
Spice hits hard.
It
think-
burns for a very long while after. God
The spice, man.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Holy moly.
quite interesting. It doesn't have as much of a taste when it lingers in your, like when you swish it around in your mouth.
Like it just burns, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting a hint of fruit.
Mhm.
It's like
It's
sweet
very slight.
banana.
But nutty. A bit.
A bit nutty for the aftertaste,
Mm.
but not a strong nut for
Yes.
46%
So
alcohol.
I guess that our theory that nuttiness is in
Higher
relation-
percentages?
Yeah, in relation to the alcohol percentage, maybe a bit.
No, you know what it means. It just means we need a larger sample size. Hey!
Yeah, that's right.
Hey!
Well, in any case, what do you think of it so far?
Surprisingly pleasant. Just very spicy.
It just kicks.
Just very spicy. Man, they weren't
Yes.
kidding about the spice.
It is very pleasant. All right. Now that that's over,
Alright, Ben, let's
Yes.
proceed on. This is pretty much your episode. Even though I'm the shonen guy, roll it on to me. What do you have for us today? Do you have a challenge?
yes, a challenge. I thought that was gonna be at the end,
So it shall be.
so it shall be.
So it shall be. So what do you have for us?
So the next part was supposed to be discussing some of the perceived changes
Yeah,
in the series.
I thought we were talking
each
about
other.
some other things because you know it's Chinese New Year. Yeah. So let me just give us a bit of a distraction. I visited my aunt. My aunt has 4 cats. So the fattest of the cats happens to have evolved from a oval-shaped creature into a square-shaped creature. It got even fluffier and even chunkier. Now it's literally the same size as the floor mat
Wait,
that is
what?
put outside the toilet.
That is a bit concerning, though. I guess it's not too much of a surprise because cats are liquids.
Yeah, it's now a literal loaf. So yes, so
are
now
indeed
so now
liquids.
that I've gone over the minor change in my aunt's cat, we can actually go back to the anime stuff.
Yes. So I guess we can discuss a bit more about how Attack on Titan is now considered a shonen.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, for Attack on Titan, you have a character in Eren who can't really be considered the classical hero or protagonist as you would in other shonen series.
I mean, he's a. Would you call him a tragic hero?
Even to that, wouldn't even call him a tragic hero. He's more an anti-hero at this point.
I feel like he's a character who started off as a very tragic hero, and the team stayed on until the final part of the series.
Yeah, until the final part.
That's when, as things go on, he starts to take a more villainous turn. If anything, let me ask you, what is the delineation between the hero, anti-hero, and the villain? What sets them apart? Because you can have a heroic villain. Like you have a villain who has heroic ideals. And you know what they say? The villain is the hero to the enemy.
Fair point. I guess the best way to describe my ideas would be through the D&D alignment chart.
Ah, okay.
Yes, so for your classic shonen hero, you would generally classify them as a good, lawful good, or maybe a neutral good, right?
Okay.
For a classic shonen villain, so something like Giovanni, Team Rocket, they are either chaotic evil or chaotic neutral. So
Giovanni is a clear case of chaotic evil.
yeah, so they do things for the sake of just dicking around. They're just
Being
the worst.
Being evil.
They are just the worst. They have no, like, perhaps there is some rhyme or reason to why they are evil, but their ends are evil and their means are evil. That is what I would classify as your traditional shonen villain.
Yeah. Hard to justify sending Jesse, James, and Meowth to do that, but okay. They always fail.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, but yeah. For what you would classify as a anti-hero, I would say that you would need someone who is on the neutral good side, a bit towards the neutral,
True neutral.
where they have an objective which you can't really identify as really just or good, but is reasonable. It makes sense.
No, so let's detract for a bit before we return to the part about the anti-hero. So, are we talking good and evil by the story standard, or good and evil by the reader standard?
That is a very significant distinction that
Right?
we need to
Because
make. Yes.
I think it's rather more a case of within the story.
Yes, it is the way that they are portrayed within the story that defines the traditional shonen hero. Is that their actions are always supposed to be morally good or morally just, and the villain is morally evil, at least within the story.
Yeah. Like kidnapping Pokemon, hard pass, bruh.
Yeah.
Saving Pokemon, I'm a saint.
It is a lot more different from the modern Pokemon villains that you see, like Team Magma, Team Plasma.
Let me just say I skipped about 4 generations.
Right. Yeah, but
Actually 3. But
I think for those villains, they actually had a reasonable, like, objective that they were trying to accomplish, which could not be identified as purely evil. There was some reason for their actions, which places them not so much within the traditional pure evil villain role, more the anti-hero. Yeah.
I think it's a bit more clear-cut in the older series.
Yeah, the distinction between good and bad is very clear within the older series.
Like
where
Dragon Ball, you have Goku, Frieza. Very simple.
But nowadays, you have Eren versus
The
politics.
world.
Yeah.
Eren versus the world.
Eren versus the world. Is anyone truly evil? Is the world truly evil? Can you really say that either side is truly evil?
Okay, then let's talk about something a bit more tenuous. Shigaraki Tomura.
Yes, from My Hero Academia.
Yes. Would he count as a villain, straight up? Is he a pawn? Is he an anti-hero in a sense?
Shigaraki was the one with the hand on the face, was he?
Yes, the hands everywhere.
The hands everywhere. Good question.
Take one off and you can't even say that he's been disarmed.
I think that should be considered pure evil in terms of how bad it was as a pun, but yes.
Yeah.
Is he really a villain? I guess that really comes down to how we define evil in a series, right?
In MHA?
In MHA?
Ooh, now that's literally a sociological topic.
Exactly.
Because we will need to delve into the hero society.
That's where I come in. Which do you have to put a censor on that?
No. I think not.
You think not?
Because we did it before.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so continuing.
Yeah, so how do we define evil in general, I guess? It's
simple.
Yes.
I am justice.
It is essentially a narrative. So the traditional good versus evil tends towards a more grand narrative, something that is objectively the case, which for most of the older series tends to be portrayed in the narrative. So like, I don't know, good is always objectively good regardless of what the reasons or how you... They are just objectively good. The narrative portrays them...
I am justice.
Yes, the narrative objectively portrays them as good and that the villain is just purely evil because, you know, they are evil. No real, underlying stuff. But for more modern series, we tend towards a more individualistic perspective. So we tend to see the villain's point of view in most of the other series, like MHA.
Yes. The League of Villains.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
entire arc.
The gentleman.
I think it's the gentle villain or something along the lines.
Yeah.
Gentle. His name is literally...
Yes,
criminal
Gentle.
name is literally... Gentle criminal, yes.
Yes.
He is gentle.
Yeah, we see from his point of view that, you know, he's not exactly pure evil, even though he is on the villainous side, not exactly the hero side.
I mean, he started off as a guy who wanted to be a hero, but he done goofed. And because he done goofed, he got, I believe, ostracized, and as a result of that, he got made into a... He decided to become a villain who does not say villainous acts. It's like very harmless stuff, but would still be counted as a villainous act within the story.
Disruptive to society, that kind of stuff.
Mildly disruptive. But okay.
Yeah. Same with AOT. You see the perspectives of the other titans, the sentient titans, and why they act in villainous ways.
You mean the Marlians, right?
Marlians? Are they Marlians?
By sentient titans, you mean the Marlians, right?
Yeah.
You mean the Marlians, right?
I can't
You're
remember.
talking about Reiner, Berto, Annie.
Yes. Those guys.
Yes. Okay. Good. The Marlians.
Alright. So yeah, we get to see their perspective and why they made certain decisions to act in ways that would be considered villainous or evil in the eyes of the... What was the city, the wall city again?
You should be referring to the entire island of Paradise. So
yes, the
Paradise Islands. Paradisians.
Yes. So we can see that modern animes have taken on a more nuanced, subjective take towards what good and evil is, which is a trend that I think appears in the big three as well, as they have progressed from, you know,
simplistic linear plot lines to more complicated, expanded timelines.
Not sure if that's like a problem with narrative progression, like having to continue a series through God knows how many years with one piece, or it is a theme that has been it is a change that is necessitated due to changes in our society, but that's
by the consumers, the readers, you mean?
Yeah, by the consumers, by society itself.
If you ask me about whether people have changed or society has changed, I would say that it's more so people have changed rather than society has changed. That's why people changed. people's reading tastes and preferences went from less cultured to more cultured. And I'm not just talking about cultured in the remove clothes way.
Right.
Talking about cultured in how well you understand a plot line. Okay. Yes, of course, there are going to be people who where the plot just flies over their head and then they don't see the light. They stick in the darkness. Then you have people who see way beyond the light. They just see the infinite void. You know.
And what I see every day. But in any case, I think we can explore the nuances of the topic after we've had our whiskeys on the rocks.
Alright, then let us have the whiskeys on the rocks.
Yeah.
Ice make, bitch. Please. So what's on the rocks?
What the?
You didn't know which series that was from?
Nope.
Disappointing. And here you were touting the power of friendship.
Sure.
Seriously don't know?
Probably not.
Heresy.
You do have to bring up the reference a bit better.
Ice make is not clear enough.
What? MAG?
No! It's fairy tale.
Oh, right. I didn't watch Fairy Tail either.
What a disappointment.
Yes, I didn't watch the big 3 or 4 or whatever.
Fairy tale's not even deserving to be part of that.
Really?
Yes.
I always thought it was one of those.
No. Far from it.
Really?
Far from it.
I mean, it is a very long series as well.
Yes, I think it's a very prototypical shonen.
Yes.
It gets it's like thematically changes a bit more towards the end, but it always has a very clear cut like storyline.
Yeah.
So always has a sub story to it.
That's why I thought it was one of the classical shonens.
Yes, but it's not. It's not part of the big 3, big 4
right
family.
Yes, because it doesn't have 1,000 episodes.
I mean, it has about 300, and then now we have Fairy Tail, the 100-year quest, as a continuation of the story. And then if you're going to count every single other universe that exists, then you're probably going to count Eden Zero.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can count the previous story that was written by Hiro Mashima. So, yeah.
Yeah, clearly you know more shonen than me.
Alright, so let's have the Bunnahabhain. How many years is this actually?
Good question. I don't know. It's essentially this is the name of the drink. Like this specific bottle.
I can't read
Yes, don't worry about that.
that.
Is there a... Should probably have prepared a bit better.
Okay, never mind. Cheers me.
Cheers. I'm just kidding.
Cheers me.
Cheers.
On the rocks.
It definitely tones down the spiciness at the start a bit more.
Yeah.
Brings out the salty and the fruity tastes.
Is that why I got this very astringent taste at the start?
Hmm.
Like when it entered my mouth, it tasted sour, and I was like, huh.
Interesting, yes. But then the spice still comes back at the end.
It's not that strong.
It's not that
Not
strong.
anymore.
But definitely brings out the flavor a bit more.
I would say fruitier. Tones down spice, fruitier. I would say I prefer it neat. Yeah.
It doesn't kick as hard. Still not as salty as I would.
Let's
hoping
mix
it would be.
Delasker in.
You can try. You'll probably actually. I think Delasker is still diluted.
Is it? How strong is the Delasker storm? 45.8%.
Diluted by a bit.
Diluted by 0.1%. What are you talking about?
46.3. 45 point mix.
So you
0.2.
diluted by about 0.25.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
Insignificant.
Insignificant. Just like. In any case.
Alright. In any case, I think this was a pretty decent drink so far. I'm not exactly looking forward to mixing it. I feel like it's gonna lose all the flavor to the drink.
Yeah, it feels like it's not as. It doesn't have as much of a punch to make it stand out.
Yeah. Maybe it will just produce spicy Coke and even spicier ginger ale. You never know.
Can try.
Never know.
Not.
And for the mystical third mixer, I don't even want to think of how that's gonna work out.
Yes, they can't see it, but you know,
They
it's
can't
right
see it?
there. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Let's not think about it.
Alright, so
Perhaps you'll bring out the fruitiness a bit more.
let's go back to what we have at hand. Now that we've chilled our brains out a little,
Indeed.
is it time to the duel?
Is it so early?
Isn't it?
No, I was gonna talk about Control Society. Sure, let's do.
Alright,
Can always come later.
so there's
Yes.
no better game to play. After destroying Felix and Pokemon, it's time for me to destroy you in another game. Beat it up. The lock is
What
broken.
do we have there?
We have here a miniature chess set that I managed to dig out from some corner of my room.
Yes, and God knows if it's locked so hard that we can never get it open. Perhaps we'll need Shonen Hero to go for a training arc before he's able to open it. Oh, never mind.
No, you are undergoing your training arc right now
Yes.
after you recover from your sinusitis case, whereas I've been eternally training. Speaking of
true
which,
Shonen
not sure when it's going to be released, but keep your eyes out for Cultivation Journey of Buff Weebs.
Hmm.
Episodes 2 and 3 combined together, that's why. It's a way to explain my procrastination. Okay.
Yes.
So, white supremacy?
White supremacy?
White supremacy?
I mean, yeah. But who's gonna be white?
That's a very good question. Scissors, paper, stone.
Scissors, paper, stone. The one way to find out.
Yes, of course.
Of course. Or because I'm part of the chess club.
Are you? I thought you
Officially?
played contract bridge.
Yeah, I do. I am I was the de facto chess captain of one person for a good 2 years. But yes. So why not?
Yeah, okay.
You take white.
Are you baiting me?
Why not?
Alright, I'll take white.
Yeah, boy.
You know what they say, white supremacy.
Oh, the white always wins. White makes right.
You know what they say, in chess the pawns go first. That's what they say when they send cannon fodder to die.
Wait, what?
X-Men First Class. Is it First Class?
First class?
I don't think so. It was the second X-Men movie. Okay, now I need to actually
Yes, your chess set
Tell
is
which-
interesting. It's very interesting. Queen on the yes. Keeps forgetting that.
okay, these are my rooks, my bishop. It's here, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so.
Let's just blame it on the alcohol.
Now I blame the chess set.
No.
Sure.
Alright, so I gotta choose white.
Yes.
So do I go first?
Of course you go first.
Is it black goes first?
Since when?
Whatever, I'm sure they can see it.
I don't think we. Let's move this class. Yes, I don't think we are playing the chess in Code Geass. Yeah, black never goes first.
Alright, Ben. You know the stakes. It's not well done steak, it's our mythical fourth drink.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the stakes for this little episode here. Keep your eyes peeled, you surely want to see what the fourth drink is about.
I do not want to find out.
Let me tell you, it's gonna be spicier than what we had today.
Right. All
Okay.
right. Your move.
My move. Yoroshi. Pawn to d4.
Pawn to d4. I see. Pawn advance. Oh wait, I have to move to pawn. It's not like no game no life. Pawn advance.
Move your pawn! beg your pardon?
What? Pawns can move 3 squares. I demand it.
Yes, my finest creation. Yes. Okay.
Da, 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 da. Well, if the king does not move, then the pieces don't follow. Was that the line?
I beg your pardon?
What? What did the rule say again?
If the king does not move, how can he expect his men to follow?
Exactly. King to F7.
You serious, mate?
You want me?
I beg your pardon?
You want me?
I'm scratching my head, bro.
You don't have to.
Sure, man. Okay, knight to f3.
Well, clearly you're playing like a sensible chess player.
Am I? Nande?
Nande?
Check.
Check. Well, I mean, if
The game just started!
if the
What
king
are
does
you
not
doing?
advance, how can you expect the pieces to follow?
Say what?
Say what?
I'm about to get an aneurysm. Sure, man.
Duel! Huh. And now we have a staring contest.
Why? Why do you have to do this?
Why not? We're here for the memes.
What?
We're here for the memes.
Well, I guess. Yes, of course. I actually need to think.
Do you? Do you really?
Yes.
Mix confusion. What the hell is that supposed to do?
Something. I don't know. You're in the chess
Sure.
club. I played chess for like...
Right. And the first
How
rule
many
of chess
days?
is not to move the king up.
Well, okay. Alright. Okay. Let's continue. Let's just move.
I mean, let me just take this real quick. Thanks for the night.
Sure, man. Thanks, man. It means the world to me. Yeah.
Duel. Don't you have no idea what the hell I'm doing?
I'm just gonna do this.
Sure. That makes
Pawn
sense.
to c3.
And I shall take the bishop. Because the pawn is the best piece, clearly.
Yes.
Pawn advance.
Yes. I will take your pawn with my pawn. Some would say that it's a pawn star.
And that's not. No. Queen up. Now my objective is to put the queen side by side with the king so that, cause they're a couple and, that's how chess works, right? Right?
Yes. Bishop to h3.
Bishop to h3.
Yeah, how could it be?
What is his plan? If I move my pawn and he takes with the pawn and I take with the queen and he takes my queen with the pawn and I take that. What do I do?
What are you doing?
Pawn up. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
Check. Is it mate?
No, cause there's a bishop here.
I'm blind.
Yes.
I'm just blind.
Nah, I think it's just the alcohol.
I'm just blind.
Clearly,
Alright.
clearly it's just the alcohol.
Alright.
King moves forward. The king is the best piece.
What can I say? Alright. It's my turn to advance my king.
So you're approaching me. If Lelouch can do it, so can I.
Yeah, but my name is a schnozzle. You little shit.
Ah, shit. Oh no. My king is in check. But his king.
Yes, I think I'm definitely gonna take this king.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think I should.
You know
Yeah,
what?
let's just check you again.
As the best chess players say, a draw.
I accept this draw.
Alright. Sure.
Let's pretend this never happened. This was a waste of the past 10 minutes.
Yes, it was.
King of Crimson. That's just from what was a 15 minutes time lag. Now we need to jump to the future in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So Ben, coming off that absolute disaster of a chess match that ended in a beautiful draw
Yes.
where we both lose.
Yes,
So
'cause
now-
we were both drinking.
So now, what anime came to mind when you were thinking about this? What came to mind?
Clearly, there were a few references for the more cultured viewers.
Of course.
Yes.
What is it?
For one, we start off with the pawn move forward. So if anyone knows where that is from, it's from No Game No Life.
Yeah, screw the rules. We don't even need money.
The rules are what you make of them.
Yep.
Yes.
And the other one is?
The other one, clearly, when we move the kings towards each other.
yeah. If the king doesn't move, people won't follow.
Indeed.
Code Geass.
Code
Lelouch
Geass.
versus Schnozzle.
Yes.
I mean, it was a very entertaining chess match.
Indeed. The
Think-
clash.
I think Lelouch was I don't think he makes a stellar hero, but Schnozzle was definitely a rather poorly written villain. He didn't last long, like most men. Yeah. I mean, on the topic of heroes and villains, I think, Ben, what do you think of do you have a good hero or bad hero in mind?
Well,
Or vice versa? Villain?
the problem is when it comes to defining a hero or a villain. For the scene with Lelouch and Schnozzle, you could argue that it's a fight between good and evil, even though what was considered good or what was considered evil at the time was already quite blurred. So my opinion is that there aren't really any good or evil characters in more modern series as compared to your classic shonen series like, say, Gurren Lagann.
Hold up, before you dive off the deep end, I'm gonna give a thought of what I think is a good character.
Yes, what do you think is a good character?
Alright. I think Ichigo from Bleach, currently ranked number 1 anime on my anime list, is a good character.
What makes you say that?
He is the classical anime protagonist. He has multiple powers, blessed from the heavens from the very beginning, literally an engineered birth. He undergoes all the necessary changes to his powers throughout the entire series. He gets an S-Pool victory at the very end, what you expect of a shonen protagonist. He has very emotional roller coaster like character development arcs. Although I would say early Bleach was kind of rushed in that regards. And not to mention, at least narratively, it's very embedded into the story. Or no, not embedded, that's not what I was looking for. It was extremely foreshadowed. His entire development process and how the plot links up together. You can tell that from this series, Kubo had already planned out what he wanted to do with Zangetsu, who is actually the antagonist of the entire series. Yuwatch or Yuhabaha, if that's how you would like to use the romanization. Omen Zangetsu was the older, it's like not older, the younger version of Yuwatch, who ends up being the final boss and ends up being a representation of one of Ichigo's powers. And then we can go from there to saying what is a bad villain, Yuwatch. Introduced as a very, very absolute, like, dominating evil character. However, given a absolutely terrible ending, Ichigo's S-Pool victory being dead, was written as such an absolute Mary Sue that the man was designed to be undefeatable.
Wait, Ichigo?
No, we're not talking about a bad villain, Yuwatch. This is what we call a bad villain. You know, while we have a good hero in the form of Ichigo, very well written, has a very fleshed out character in terms of a shonen way, power development wise, character development wise in the story, as far as what we could define as emotional maturity as defined by the author. Then you have a bad villain, you know, You have a very one-dimensional character with a
Mm.
very, very, very linear like existence thinking,
Mm-hmm.
as dictated by Kubo. That would be Watch. Although his presence inside the story was embedded for a very long time, he's a very bad villain
Mm.
from both a narrative wise and a more meta character wise development. That's what I mean by a good hero, or maybe a bad hero would be like Mash from Mashal. He's written as a gag character, but the problem is that as far as the character exists, too linear, too straightforward, you really only come for the story because of the gags.
So
because
like Saitama from One Punch Man.
Saitama presents a better conflict than Mash.
Wow,
That's why.
That is a very, very one-dimensional character. Then.
No, Saitama is not that. It's not as one-dimensional as you think. It's actually more two-dimensional.
Two-dimensional.
Yes.
Fair enough. Well, in my opinion, what makes a good character, not in the moral perspective, more the narrative, story kind of character,
Yeah.
would be someone like Roy Mustang.
Okay.
So you can clearly see that there is no distinction between what is objectively good and evil when he, being part of the army, has committed.
Wait, 5-second break.
Right?
Roy Mustang is from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yes.
Okay, yes, back to you.
I'll
Good and evil.
be referencing Brotherhood.
Fullmetal Alchemist brother. Okay.
Yes. So in that series, Roy Mustang can't really be considered a truly good hero because he committed genocide. Well, he was part of the genocide,
Yes.
as the mages are in Fullmetal Alchemist. Yeah, the alchemists are in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yes, because they are essentially state weapons.
Yes, but what makes a good character in the narrative sense is the development of their internal conflicts and their struggle with the moral objectivity that is imposed on them by the narrative, and as well as their experiences with the story. So how they are interacting with the other elements of the story.
Okay.
So
I would say that your way of thinking here is narrow-minded, but then again, the way I think of things in a very shonen sense is also very narrow-minded. So we should try and combine our powers in this case. What makes a good correct fusion half? We're gonna become the skinny
Yes.
version. Okay.
oh, we're not gonna become Nina and the dog. Wait, what? Never mind.
No, then we actually need to produce the dog. Oh, that said, I think we could think about what a good character or bad character is in a more, or rather narratively speaking,
Mhm.
within the context of shonen, in a more broad scale. Not only do we look at their conflicts within the story, in terms of how they deal with the moral dilemmas
Mhm.
and how they deal with their internal conflicts. We can also look at how they develop as a character by the shonen metrics, by their powers, by how they interact with their comrades, so social relationships, power dynamics beyond a social context. The actual shonen things that a lot of people love shonen for.
Fair
That's
enough.
how we can view things in
Friendship's
a
power.
broader lens. So, how about a villain within Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood?
A villain?
Yeah,
Are we bringing up Father?
we could do Father,
No,
Envy.
I think Envy is a better villain than Father because Father was pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah, he didn't last very long too.
Yeah. We only found out about him nearer to the end and then he just yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess Envy would be considered a good character in that sense.
A good villain.
Yeah, a good villain. How would
Goes
be.
against the protagonist.
Indeed.
Very well-rounded, well-developed power. Deals with his own conflicts as well.
Though at that point, are they really a villain? Well, they are.
Yes.
Yes.
Broadly speaking, not say broadly speaking, very specifically speaking, within Fullmetal Alchemist, the 7 Deadly Sins characters are all bad.
Yeah, they are morally bad, but
Is Sloth bad?
Sloth. He's an ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, he's an ass. So, I guess in that sense, the villains in Fullmetal Alchemist can't really be considered villains so much so that they should be considered more like individuals in society. That- Yeah, which brings me to a point about how the old shonen has transformed into what we see with Full Metal Alchemist,
So
Attack
you
on
mean-
Titan.
You mean old Fullmetal Alchemist versus
Oh,
Fullmetal
no.
Alchemist Brotherhood?
Old Full Metal Alchemist could not be considered shonen by any metric because
That
there
is
was the entire scene with Nina and the dog,
that is
which stretched out
nightmare
for a
fuel
full
kids.
6 episodes.
I don't know.
I think it was 6 episodes, but
I-
they rushed over it in 2 episodes for this.
Compared to most humans,
Mhm.
I actually read Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yes.
So you know I'm truly built different because I read it in one day.
The thing about the old Full Metal Alchemist is that it was original material after like Nina, I think. Yeah. That's why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is considered more canonical because it's more relevant to a source material. But in any case, we can see that there is a difference between what you would consider a traditional shonen hero in the form of a Dragon Ball Z
Goku.
Yeah, compared to someone you will see in AOT,
Eren Yeager.
Eren Yeager, even his Motley Crue.
Which of his Motley Crew?
Uh,
Which of his Motley Crew?
yeah, their names escape me, but
Okay, do
including people like
you
Annie.
mean like his OG crew, Mikasa and Armin? Are you talking about the Jaegerist faction, Flock?
Including Mikasa and Armin, plus the Marlian Titans. So Annie,
Reiner and Berto.
yes. So we can see that there is a transition between the traditional shonen hero versus the more modern shonen hero, in the sense that their morality when it comes to their actions is less rigid. In the more traditional shonen series, we see a very clear distinction between good and evil. And
Yes.
I think we have established that. And usually we
Quite
see
well.
these reflected in institutions delivering grand narratives. So you can see this in Attack on Titan as well. So
Go on, give me your example.
So when the Paradisians in the first season gave a very grand narrative about how the Paradisians were the heroes, were in the right, compared to the Titans who were the evil villains, or even later on where the Marlians portrayed themselves as the righteous people compared to the Paradisians who were supposed to be evil.
To the first point, I think it took quite a while before I actually got to that point. Because people didn't realize there were sentient titans until it was quite into the story. And then they started to realize that there are actually people in the shadows operating to screw them over.
Yeah, but even at the start, there was a very clear distinction between the actions of the Paradisians being just or right compared to the villains who were just like brain dead titans trying to attack the tree walls. Right?
I feel like that's missing the point of the story quite a fair bit,
No,
actually.
the portrayal of it at least.
No, there was
The
no
grand narratives.
It's a portrayal of survival.
Yeah, but there is a very clear distinction between what was considered just or good or evil between like the actions of the Paradisians against the
Really?
Titans.
It's like saying, if a polar bear is coming to maul you, is the polar bear evil and are you good?
Well, if you defend yourself, it's morally right, and that's the portrayal of it.
But are you not going to fight for your life?
You will, and that would
Right?
be considered right, morally right.
But within you and the polar bear, are you going to think it's right to fight for your life?
And that's where the problem comes in. So after we realize that, the Paradisians aren't actually just one unit to be discussed.
Not an
Instead,
amoeba.
not an amoeba, indeed. There are different factions within the Paradisians themselves, the upper class, the military, and the peasants, essentially.
Yes. Peasants is quite accurate for them.
Yes, the ones who were farming on the outer walls. When we see the distinction between the institutions, which is the upper class, and the experiences of the
Peasants.
individual, the peasants, then the morality of the actions become a bit more blurred, which is what we see, which is the transition we see from the traditional shonen to the modern shonen. A breakdown of large institutions with their grand narratives and a more graying of the morality of their actions when it comes down to the individual perspectives, which is what modern shonens tend to do more. They focus on individual experiences. I think I have lost my train of thought, but that is the general gist that I'm getting at, which is...
General gist?
Yes. Which
It's
is...
kind of sussy.
You get what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, which is reflective of our modern society where large institutions have started to retreat in favor of more individualized experiences. How you understand your own life is not so much influenced by the large institutions, more so how your own experiences are understood by yourself through different methods, which may or may not be influenced by the institutions themselves.
You know, I feel like there are plenty of other topics you could branch out to for this, but it would be very boring.
Yeah.
So why don't we get to something a bit less boring? Let's get ourselves some drinks with the mixers in.
I think that would be a good idea.
Alright. Alright, Ben. We have our mixers. So, first things first, we have our classics. We have Coke, because Coke always works well. We have ginger ale, because we are on a eternal quest to find what doesn't screw with ginger ale.
Indeed.
And then, for our very third one, if you know, there was a series in the Weekly Shonen Jump, it was called Toriko. Inside Toriko, you have 8 mystical food items that are, well, considered god foods. I'm just going to demonstrate one of it right now. It's called pear. Let me just pluck pear. Of tangerines.
Alright.
And now,
that wasn't...
in case you were wondering, the third, the third mixer is going to be some crushed tangerines, gourmet hen.
Alright, yes.
Let me just quickly pull a Shokugeki no Soma. It's gonna be some tangerine juice.
Right. Cause you're buff, but you're not a savage.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to this.
See, I'm not a savage, but have you ever seen anyone do this to a tangerine?
Why would you...
So that we can be juicers!
Alright. Let's just get this.
By now, I'm sure that actual Chinese boomers will be rolling.
Yes.
If they actually watch our content.
It's
but
fine.
Don't worry, I don't think they do.
They can continue to roll in their graves for all I care.
Actual old boomers.
Actual boomers.
Like us.
They probably won't care.
Sure, man.
Sure.
Alright, let's chop the next one up. As you can see, this is some masterful knife work. I'm truly a Shokugeki chef.
Indeed. I'm surprised my shirt isn't exploding off my chest right now.
Oh man, that's because you haven't gotten some of this in you. Alrighty.
I am terrified of what that is referring to.
Some of this in you. Some juice from my pear right here.
Some juice from your gigantic pear?
Yeah, man. Wring it dry. Alright. Dab some in, and then I'm gonna juice us up.
Here you go. Oh. I am slightly afraid of what's gonna happen, but you know, good riddance.
You're gonna need a bit more juice, man.
The juice? Is that the juice?
This is not the juice, but I would say that for future cons, we are probably going to bring back more iterations of the juice. So yeah, viewers, keep your eyes out for the juice.
The juice.
Spelled Jooce.
Yes, why?
Alright, Ben.
What else? How else would it be spelled?
Alright, let's have ourselves the good sample of the Bunnahabhain. I don't know how many years this is. Something limited edition I see right there. With our mixer, starting with Coke. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. So you were saying how you were afraid that Coke would just drown it out. Spicy Coke.
It is literally spicy Coke with very weird taste. I wasn't screwing you,
Spicy
right?
Coke.
Yeah. Spicy Coke with a weird taste for me.
Spicy Coke with
It's
a
like,
very weird
it's like
taste.
amplify all the bad flavors.
Yeah. So artificial. Oh god. Do we have to finish this?
For justice. Oh my goodness, never again.
Drink it straight.
Yeah, good. This is how a good scotch should be enjoyed. Straight on the rocks, but in this case, straight.
Yeah, we
Alright.
should probably be going to hell for mixing this.
Alright. Now with ginger ale.
Ginger
Ooh.
ale.
Nasty ginger ale.
Ah, the aftertaste is.
Nasty ginger ale.
Oh my, I was not expecting that aftertaste.
I think it's because you pour yourself, you decanted over more of the whiskey. Mine is just
Perhaps.
pretty weak. It's just bad ginger ale. Purification. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a travesty.
Yeah, pretty sure we are going to hell for this. You know what? I'll leave this be for a while.
Okay, now for the absolute masterpiece that is tangerine juice. Freshly squeezed.
Not even orange juice, just tangerine juice.
Not even cold.
Yes, not
Right,
even cold.
with the whiskey. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
This is interesting to say the least, but it still sucks.
It still sucks. Pulpy, but
Yeah,
sucks.
pulpy.
Holy shit. Never again?
It's like alcoholic tangerine juice.
Never again.
Never again. This was a waste of scotch. This episode was a mistake.
Mhm.
I regret everything about this episode.
I have a regret. Oh my god. Pretty sure I should just drink some of that to cleanse out the taste in my mouth.
That was send you to the ER. No worries.
Probably preferential.
That's nearby hospital.
So yes, let me just leave this here and I'll touch them later.
Alright.
But what are your thoughts so far? How will you rate it?
Quite disappointing, to be honest. I think it deserves no more than a 7. But definitely less if we are to be a bit more critical about it.
I would say that if we were to exclude the mixers, it's a pretty
yes.
good drink.
If you exclude the mixers, it's probably like a 7.5. Because it's still too spicy in the aftertaste.
Interesting base.
It just burns.
We have the mixers. Yeah.
It doesn't burn in a particularly bad way, like they lock them on. We don't talk about that, but yeah.
We don't talk about that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the mixers,
Mixers were an absolute mistake. Not sure if it's a dosage problem or it's just a whiskey that doesn't mix well.
I think it just doesn't mix well.
Yeah. Best to enjoy this 1 liter bottle by yourself.
From the
Neat.
bottle.
Yeah, from the bottle.
Yeah.
That's practically neat.
So
Score-wise, how you rate it?
with the mixers, 6, 5.5.
Ooh, that's low.
Without the mixers, 7.5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I should have rated it a bit more critically. It's just that compellingly, taste-wise, it's still quite okay. Neat. Yeah, so I guess averages out to 6.25, somewhere around there. Can't do math, man. I'm not in a course that deals with math in good numbers. I deal in maths in increments of 45 pounds or 20 kilograms.
I have not touched a calculator in the last 4 years, but in any case.
Oh, I actually did though. Damn. Alright, in any case, Ben, you may proceed to go into your final rant as I prepare for us our special 4th drink.
Indeed. So
Are you looking forward to it? Do you see what I took out?
I am terrified to find out, but yes, you have fresh glasses, or are we reusing glasses?
Fresh glasses, of course.
Nice. So as I was, why is there a sauce or Mapo tofu. Never mind.
A small teaser to what's coming to the future.
Yes, so in any case, where was I again?
Where were you again?
Yes, my rant. So, my thoughts about the entire discussion about shonen and how the moral boundary between good and bad has been graying over the years is one about what it really means to be good and evil. Is there really right and wrong? What is truly good or bad? Can we truly be the traditional shonen hero of the past? Or are we all just Eren Yeagers? Is anything truly right or wrong? Is anything that I do really right? Is there significance in anything that I do? What truly is right or wrong? I do not know, and that's the problem with the postmodern theory, because if everything is subjective, then what truly is objectively right? And if nothing is objectively right, then can we say that anything we do is really significant? And oh my god, what the hell am I?
I beg your pardon?
None of that shit matters. If nothing truly is good or evil, then what I say is good or evil is what goes. I am truly good or evil. I am justice. I am inevitable. And that's what you should be.
Screw you, I am
Anything
justice.
anything you do can be truly good or evil. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just like this, can it be truly good or evil? Is it good or bad? Who knows? This!
Actually surprisingly tolerable.
This is objectively good. This is objectively bad, and I am very clearly wrong. And
This is mine now.
donk.
That's it. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you want. Otherwise, have a nice day.